Greetings, sir and sirettes, and welcome back to Scrap Mechanic with me, Lathrix, and of course, welcome back to the base, which has undergone quite a few changes. As you can probably already see, we now have the refiner, we now have the resource collector ×2, the vehicle has been massively changed, and loads of the walls have been torn down, because today, we are moving. I've decided, since we are building so much now, building more permanent stuff, it's time we get going, time to move somewhere else, so that we can make sure everything we build will stay there forever. At the moment, all of this will eventually be taken down, so if I continue to add stuff here, all I'm doing is wasting time for the future. And so, it's time to build a better farm elsewhere. Also, how I set everything up before just wasn't very optimal. Having all of this all the way over there, all these walls really far away, it just made defending really, really tedious. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm still going to stay near the ocean here. Is it an ocean? Is it a lake? Either way, the body of water here, just a bit further down. And what I'm going to do is build the actual base itself into the water, because I believe I can just do this, am I correct? And then carry on and carry on and carry on, so we have all of our crafting stuff on the water itself, because I think it'll be pretty, and then we have the farm on the shoreline, because you need to put soil on dirt itself, and then we can defend by just making a nice fence, squaring all of that off, and then that way we can funnel enemies correctly, we can set up traps. It's just going to be way easier in the long run. But before we start moving and start setting up everything else, let's discuss the vehicle, which stares at you as it harvests. So this was our original vehicle, but now it has more chests. It has a large chest on top, which is not permanent, that's just while we're moving, and it has a resource collector on its side on the back. The reason is this just fits way better this way around. But the most interesting thing is the drills themselves. The drills themselves are no longer powered by an engine, they are powered completely by the controller. So this is a really simple setup. All it is a switch attached to both the seat and the controller. The controller is then connected to all of these bearings and makes them spin at full speed. And that actually makes the drills spin faster than an engine could possibly spin them, which is really, really weird, to be perfectly honest. And of course, it costs no fuel. You can actually set this up for wheels as well. At the moment, though, we have loads of spare gas, so I'm just sticking with the basic engine, though most likely I will be swapping over to controller-based engines in the future, because I just find them really interesting. The piston engines are still very much an option, but I think I might go with this. At least at the moment, things could always change. And that's pretty much that, just an extra drill. It harvests really well. The collector collects all the logs, they're called, which you can then put into the refiner. This is normally attached to a chest. That's why I've got loads of stone, and we had loads of metal before I was building stuff. This just makes everything a lot faster. Eventually, I'm tempted to have a vehicle with this actually on the vehicle itself. But at the moment, we just collect all the logs, come back, and then sit down next to it, and it's all nice and easy. So, let's get out there, and let's scout our new home. So ideally, we want somewhere close to the packing station, which is right there. So, wow, here, actually. Yeah, it's even a good angle to build from. And it has the little island there, nice view. We have the rock there we can build on if we want to. That tiny tree will be annoying, but not really so much so. Yeah, this is perfect. Even a natural piece of wall here. Yep, this is where we're going to set up shop. So, let's move all our crafting stuff over first. Pop down our chests and such. And we even have a little place to raid once in a while as well. This is really nice. Yep, some stone over there as well. We've got loads of beeswax just around the corner. Yep, this is nice and close to that if we ever need anything from the mechanic shop. It's close to the boss area. This is definitely where I want to move to. This game is surprisingly pretty at times. Random side note, but I should really build some brick. I was just trying to think of what I'm actually going to build the base out of now, and well, the brick is really easy to build, and it has one more durability than the stone. It's only, well, it's actually 1 for 1. 1 stone equals 1 brick, and now with this thing, we're getting loads of stone, so maybe that's what I'm going to build the base out of? Depends how it looks. I kind of like the tile blocks. It's basically the same, but with less friction, but yeah, we can make it look all sciencey and stuff and clean. We could go with restroom blocks, because no. Just no. Ooh, barrier blocks. No, why would I do that? Doesn't that weaken the wood? Yeah. There's a lot of other stuff, though. Like, that has durability 5, which is really nice. That's only wood. Oh, that's something for the future. Getting these things over here was an absolute nightmare. So it turns out they really don't like being moved around on a vehicle or just by any kind of block. They kept on warping through things no matter how much space I gave them. They were just taking damage nowhere no matter how slowly I was driving. It wasn't very fun. That took longer than all of the other parts combined. Mostly because all the others I could just put them on top of the vehicle and move them no issue. These things... no. So all the chests, pretty much everything is now here or in my inventory, including all of the farming stuff. Hello there. So now we can start making a plan. Now, I was talking about the stone blocks before, but I've also been told that certain durability blocks simply don't take damage from enemies. I think it's 6 and above, something like that. So what we could do is have a smallish farm somewhere, let's just say a little bit further down, or even just here, and then have everything on top of the water, which would be really cool in terms of all of our everything else. So just put the farm here, surround it by this invincible armor, then have the enemies just attack it and do nothing. Then we can just stand there hitting things. In fact, what we could do is have it like 3 high, because this is how I set it up before, as in over at the farm. I had it this high so that I could attack the enemy past the gate, and they couldn't hit me back, because it seems like I have more range than they do. Don't quite know what that range is, though, so we do need to do some testing. So let's make some of that kind of material, and we'll find out if it really is invincible. So let's start building onto the water then, because I would like all of my crafting stuff and everything else to be here, because that would just be really cool. Well, I can't see very well, but yeah, look at that. He's stuck. Oh, that is so silly. Well, I know how I'm building my new farm. Thank you for your spine. Okay, time for a quick test. I want to see if we can just put down a broken fence like this, rather than connecting it all as a wall. What was that? I am amazed that works. I've got to be honest, I didn't know how big the hitbox was. Or what we could do is something like this, because I think it'll look better. Now bear with me. While the enemy does his little dance in the background. Then remove all of these. Yeah, I quite like that. Thank you. So I think that's how I'm going to set it up like this, rather than have it as poles, because I just don't like how that looks. Okay, let's get back home. I think we have enough blocks now, so I'm going to set up a little test farm. If this works, then we're going to try and automate the test farm. Well, at least automate it water-wise, just because I don't know if I am going to go down the route of the true insanity of automating everything that is planting, harvest. Manually watering feels so awful now after having that auto system. Which we're going to improve on later, if this works. Well, I mean, even if this doesn't work, I'm still going to have a better system than I had before. Not that the old system really was all that bad. I'm still not sure if I am going to bother with an auto planter and harvester, just because it does seem to be such a huge investment, and not a particularly quick method. And honestly, the watering's the annoying part, not harvesting. But we'll see. We'll see how we feel later on. I just feel like it's not on the top of my priorities. What I need to do is make a more fuel-efficient vehicle. I also want a vehicle with all of this on one, so it's the ultimate harvester, so we can just continue to harvest for as long as we want. And I also want to be able to get a spud gun, so I need to do that as well. And yes, I am where I just watered an already watered patch of ground. And yes, this is the only bucket I have left. It is so boring. Okay, that should be enough chemicals for quite some time now. Also, I can hardly see, so hopefully I've edited this to be a little bit better for everyone watching. Sure, just throw it on the back for now. Let's return. I've also got loads of stone, because over there was a mining area, which, honestly, I just forgot to pick up all the stone from, since I didn't have this construct before. So that should be enough now to make ourselves a pretty good fence. Got 2 minutes left. Okay, let's see then if I can make myself a repeater. So, in the previous video, it was fairly obvious that I didn't actually know what the timer block was. For some reason, I thought it would act as a repeater. Of course it won't. That makes absolutely no sense. So what we need to do is make a repeater ourselves, and I think I remember how to do this because of Minecraft. So let's see if we're correct. So you should be a NAND gate. You should be... Oh, is it XOR? Or I think it's an OR gate. Might be wrong there. Then it would be you into you into you. Yours acting like the redstone circuit piece. Then you into you. Yep, there we go. And then, if I'm correct, if I put you into the OR gate, I can then turn you off? Yes, I can. Because now you're getting 2 inputs, which breaks you. Okay. So then finally, I don't know how to really attach this to the gun. Does it really matter where? Apparently it does. Oh, it could be because those two aren't connected. There we go. Probably can come from the timer. Ah, I am deaf. Oh, hello, enemies are approaching. Hello. Oh, look how stupid that is. Oh, that is so dumb. So it's because they can't actually destroy the block, so they're not even attacking it. But their pathing is so predictable and dumb, they're just walking into it. Well, that's an easy way to get the farm running, and an easy way to collect circuits and stuff. Also, oh no, these are on full brightness. Yeah, I need to change the colour of these. The weird red isn't particularly nice. Okay, so yeah. The farm definitely works, and now we have a basic repeater. Thank you, Minecraft. Time to use some pistons, or at least test out pistons. So bear in mind, this is not going to be the most efficient design, it's just an idea I've had in my head, and it's a really, really simple one. The idea is we're going to build a scaffolding up and over to this. We'll have the 3 water guns, one there, one there, one there. They'll all be attached to the same switch, which is attached to the repeater, and then the piston extends. So you have all the water just being pushed along, and then you turn it off, and it goes back. I'm almost certain you could do this better with less water guns if you use sensors and such, but again, this is just a nice basic system, and I don't really mind not having complete automation just yet. One small change, I've moved the switch so it's no longer attached to the OR gate. That way I can do this. When the switch is on, the water's on. When the switch is off, the water's off. It makes a lot more sense to me, and will make it just easier to connect to other things. How many things can a switch attach to anyway? Out of curiosity. Quite a few, right? Yeah, I'm not sure if there even is a limit. I'm sure, well, I'm fairly certain there is, but I haven't seen proof of it yet. Why do I have a clam in my inventory? I have loads of random stuff in my inventory at the moment. Need to sort that out later. Is that where I want it to be? Yes, it is. Okay. And... yep, there we go. Everything has been watered, so that works absolutely fine. Now, do I want to bother with an automatic planter and harvester? Because we could do it in a very similar way of this. In that we could have it so that a chest moves over them with the vacuum pumps, planting and harvesting as it goes. Yeah, I feel like we'd need a lot of chests and vacuum pumps though, unless we have a way which we could move it like this, which I think you can, honestly. But that right now is out of my my experience, and I really don't want to look up videos and everything. I want to try and learn all this by myself. As I get better with logic engines, I may give that a go, but honestly, this is fine. If all I have to do is put down the crops and harvest them, that takes moments. And with this fix, that's great. All I need to do is move that switch over here instead, then everything's pretty much done. Another night, another raid, and... yep. Wait, is he attacking my light? Okay, I'm going to let that happen. Let's see if it actually does destroy the light. Oh, look, they are attacking the metal now. Are they? Huh. You're definitely attacking something. You're definitely trying to attack something. Yeah, are you both attacking the light? It's hard to tell what you're doing. I'm just going to wait for a while. Wow, that looks kind of terrifying, honestly. Well, if you are damaging it, you're damaging it so slowly I don't particularly care. Yep, I'm just going to sit here for the next few minutes, see if they do destroy anything. For science! Yeah, also, their relentless pathing, you could probably get them funneled in quite easily. There we are, just stacking underneath the fence. Hey! All the items. Wait, was that me or them? That was me, okay. Oh no, it is them! Oh, that's interesting. So what I need to do then is make this a little bit further away. How many blocks is it over here? Because I didn't get the problem over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And over here is 1... Oh, I can already see it's 4. Okay. Oh, that's fine. No major issue, really. Now, farming itself, I actually find very interesting in this game. There's a lot to it, and you can automate quite a lot. But what I'm really interested in is if you can set up a defense system which will destroy enemy bots automatically. And that all hinges around one thing. Do sensors sense enemies? This is the first sensor I'm making so far, which is weird. And if it does, then I can think of plenty of ways that we can destroy enemies. Actually, one of the ways does depend on a simple fact. Do enemies take crush damage? Now, I've already seen some comments that apparently they do, but I haven't seen that yet in-game, so perhaps that's wrong. But if it is correct, then surely one of the easiest ways would just be a sensor connected to some pistons and then splat. Nice and simple. So we funnel them in, they all are like, hello, food, and then instead they become scrap. Another way would be an automated water defense system, which again would be pretty easy. Just have the sensor set up to some of these guns, or perhaps set up to a clock to fire water everywhere, then they all get knocked out by that. Since they do get stunned by water, I don't know if it kills them. I'm assuming it does some damage, but it will at least stun them. But yeah, I don't know how all this works is the issue. So a very simple way to set it up though. Just put a sensor down somewhere. Even if the enemy destroys us, I don't really mind too much. Then hook this up to the lights. And then let's go find an enemy. If all of these light up, then it can sense the enemy. If not, then sadly not. Well, it senses me. So I would assume it would also sense an enemy. Enemy's there, splat, enemy's dead, off. Let's find out. This way. Stop attacking the light. Yeah, need to build those in a bit more. Don't attack the scarecrow either. Come on, follow me. Stop getting stuck on everything. Larry. Well, we've got one as a pet now. Oh my god, I could so easily fence you off and make you a pet. Well, you're no more scary than half the pets I own in real life. I own a scorpion. I used to be scared of scorpions. I own snakes. Used to be scared of snakes. I'll own you. I weren't particularly afraid of you to begin with, though, to be fair. How did you get... What are you trapped on? Is it the head? There you go. Oh, did the lights just turn on? Yes. Excellent. Oh, the sensor got destroyed, though. Yeah, so we'll have to figure out a way to protect the sensor, though. Can sensors see through glass, perhaps? I mean, what it could do, of course, is just go... and then put the sensor there. But it looks like they can attack things quite close by, so we might need to have upgraded sensors. Or, of course, we could just activate the defenses at a flick of a button. That would be easy as well. Or have the sensors above them. Oh, that would be an easy way to do it, wouldn't it? You could actually have it on the crusher, if crushers work. So, pop it up. So let's say that's the crusher. We could just put the sensor here. Well, like there. So it sees the enemy, splat, the enemy is dead. I had to just look back at that bit of footage to make sure. So yeah, the lights definitely turned on before he ended up destroying the sensor. They just then stayed on afterwards because obviously they're no longer hooked up to anything. Oh, that is lovely to know. Also, really need to put a chest down here. So, I think that'll be the next video then. Setting up some traps to destroy the enemy, and trying to make this look a bit more presentable. So we need way more of this concrete everywhere so we can set up things correctly. Then we need to see if those kind of traps work. Kind of want to manually set one up now, just to see if it would work. Okay, yeah, let's just set up one manually. We need some more pistons then. Then when the enemies arrive tomorrow night, we'll just set up this area here to squish them. Okay, I'm actually going to be calling the episode here. It looks like not all that much really happened, but honestly, we have now laid the foundations for loads and loads of stuff, but now I need to go out and get loads more resource, because I was going to set up a test piston, but the problem is the enemy will be able to destroy it unless it's made out of something they can't destroy, and I don't have the resources for that right now, and it's going to take quite a bit of farming to get all that sorted out. So I'll be doing that off camera, so the next video we can test out defenses, and we can completely fence off the area and start making our finalized base. Because at the moment, everything is kind of just in the water here just to keep it safe. Yeah, not really the best. So with that, thank you so much for watching. If you have enjoyed today's video, then of course, likes, favourites, shares, comments, all that good stuff helps out me, helps out the channel, and most importantly, shows that Scrap Mechanic is a series you wish to see continued in the future. The next video is probably going to be a lot longer because we are going to get a lot done. Today is the Foundation episode. The next one, Destruction. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye. I love this game.